Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Victory Drive. Well, topic of discussion today is ice in Minneapolis. Some crazy shit's been going on to our neighbors up north, and I just wanted to get together with my brother and chit chat about that stuff a little bit. And it's absolutely wild. I mean, honestly, where we're at in America today with with just the way that people are acting about, illegal immigrants being deported from the country. Nowhere in history has this ever been a big deal. It's never been a big deal. Obama, he famously was known as the deporter in chief. The one good thing that Obama did during his administration was he protected the border, and people that came here illegally, he deported, and he didn't, and no one raised a fuss. Some people raised a fuss, some of the people on the far left back then, they did raise a fuss a little bit, but no one gave a shit because everyone realized that they're a bunch of clowns that aren't to be taken seriously. The majority of Democrats and the Democrat Party at the time were you guys are nuts. You're not. You're a fringe. That's a fringe idea. Open borders is a fringe, very far fringe idea. Even Bernie Sanders was protect the border and all that stuff. So this is a very new thing for so many people to be so upset about, deporting illegals and getting them out of here, and honestly protecting the country and protecting the sovereignty of this country, because at this point it is an invasion. And unfortunately, it's one of those things where when stuff like this starts happening, federal agents have to come in, and it's a hammer. It's not a scalpel. It's a fucking hammer. And it is what it is, kind of thing. But we do talk about the main thing I want to talk about was the stuff that came after the Pretti shooting in Minneapolis, and that's more of a sticking point for me personally. If anyone's curious about politics and stuff like that, it's one of those things where it's fucking gay. Politics is gay. It's just where I stand politically. Politicians are cunts. Politics is gay. And, it's, I wish it wasn't that big of a deal. It didn't have to be that big, of a part of our lives. Unfortunately, right now it does, because we are not heading in the right direction, So even if a small voice Mine Jordan's on here, or anyone else, anyone else I have on this podcast, I'm not Joe Rogan here, but, it's just something that I feel compelled to talk about, and it's absolutely ridiculous when I go out there and I see all these adults acting big, worse than big children. They're acting like fucking political pawns, and it's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. And, I don't even know what happened, and then my wife made me watch some of the Grammys, over the weekend, and it was just ridiculous. Bad Bunny gets up there and ice out. Okay, buddy, get out. How about that? Get the fuck out of here. No one cares. No one actually cares about what you have to say, bud. You're fucking stupid. And then you get Billie Eilish up there. This is the most funny, and she's getting a lot of backlash on it about it right now, but it is so funny because she's well, you can't be an illegal on stolen land. Okay, bitch, you can. It's not stolen either. Conquered and stolen are two totally different things. And America has been this way for over 200 years. If there was going to be a big Indian uprising, it would have happened already. So it's not stolen. All right, the land our land, our legally acquired land due to conquest, essentially. Because let's face it, legal and illegal, right and wrong, and all that stuff. Right and wrong comes from God. All right, that's the only entity that can tell you what's right and wrong. And illegal, legal, that kind of stuff. That's all written down by, who can enforce it. Like legality it only comes down to who can actually enforce the rules, right? So the Indians couldn't enforce it. They couldn't protect it. They couldn't keep it. Like that's what happens. That's what happens in history. That's what's always happened in the history of history. Like you have a group of people that are like, okay, we're just gonna we need more of this stuff, like more of this land, so we're just gonna keep taking it until we can't, kind of thing. That's kind of what happens. Then you end up, and every empire ends up failing because they've always spread themselves too thin. So it is what it is. And if you want to look at America as an empire, then oh well, whatever, I guess. But at the end of the day, it's not stolen land. This is America. It has been for over 200 years. And if you do think it's stolen land, then you can fuck off. Go fuck off in Puerto Rico with Bad Bunny or something. I don't know. Or actually leave America and all of its territories. I don't give a shit. But you sound I don't even know. I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it's mean. Anyways, moving on. That's ridiculous. But Ashley made me watch Grammys and it was fucking stupid. Just completely missing the point. Like completely missing the point. Like average Americans want deportations. We want America to be reinstituted as America and not having an invading force of people from different countries taking over and changing America into something completely different than what it is. So that's that. So we end up talking more about ICE in Minneapolis and how fucking just our opinions on it. So there's that little intro. It went on a little bit longer than I expected, but I get going on this kind of stuff and it just boils my blood. And I don't like sitting here talking about politics, but this does have something to do with politics because we get into a gun rights issue towards the end of this, and that's the most important thing to take away from the Minneapolis stuff. I don't give a fuck about Republicans and Democrats. Like, it is what it is. But the most, I talk about the left a lot because they are the most anti-gun. This story comes from a different place, so got to be consistent. Got to stick to your morals no matter who you're criticizing, right? Doesn't matter if it's Republican, Democrat, MAGA, fucking whatever they got over there on the left. It doesn't matter. Right, wrong is wrong, and we got to call it out when we see it. So there's that. Anyways, moving on. Victory Drive is brought to you by Grizzly Coolers, the most American cooler company in America. Very American. Doesn't get much more American than Grizzlies, right? Grizzly Bears. Grizzly. Fucking American. Like, badass coolers. Bears can't get in them. It's sick. Like, they're badass. They're really cool. So check out Grizzly Coolers. They're hard-sided coolers, soft-sided coolers, drinkware, apparel, and hunting blinds. So check them out. They are really, I don't know, I'd say just the best in the biz. They keep your cold shit cold and your hot shit hot. So check them out. Use code WCB at checkout to save some coin and support the network. We've also got Huntworth gear, Huntworth clothing. I like to wear Tarnin. It's good stuff. I like it a lot. I used it all last season. It got pretty cold in Kansas, and it was great. Cold in Kansas, very cold in Iowa. Hunting during late season a bit, and it was absolutely freezing. I sat in a blizzard. I mean, it held up good. I did freeze in the blizzard, but that was a blizzard. Like, what do you expect? Like, even the most expensive shit you'd still get cold. So, oh well. Anyways, Huntworth gear, check them out. Use code, I think it's WCB15 on that one. Not entirely sure. It's in the show notes, guys. These codes are in the fucking show notes, so don't be lazy. Go down there and click it if you want to get in some of that gear. And Patreon, if you want to support Victory Drive straight up, just straight to the point, check out patreon.com/victorydrive. And we got YouTube going on, stuff, and all sorts of shit going on. I'm going to start getting into more shooting content and shooting related episodes, like not shooting like bad shootings, like fun going out to the range shooting type stuff. And you'll be hearing a lot more from Jordan especially after he gets out of the police academy. And I'm going to kind of chronicle our shooting season. I kind of like to break Victory Drive up, just so you guys know what's going on in my brain. Victory Drive as like a shooting podcast, firearms podcast, and hunting podcast, right? So kind of break it up in seasons. Outside of hunting season, we're going to the range and shooting guns, right? And then whatever we're shooting, lately we've been really into handguns. So we've been focusing on a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the way I'm structuring Victory Drive. It's like hunting season, shooting, like firearms season, I guess, So just so you know what's going on in my brain about it. So, all right. Anyways, that's pretty much about it. Let's get on the episode. Thanks for listening, everybody. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you. And when reaching out on social media, interacting there, and just listening to the episodes, I really, really, really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Hopefully you enjoy this episode. All right.
Fucking toe to toe.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's a little tight in here, but I think we're okay.
Yeah. We'll be all right.
Got set up a little late, so we don't have that much time, but
No, we got plenty.
Okay. But Ashley's supposed to be here, but she's not. So she had to go fight crime, I guess, or something. Got called in.
Fucking weird thing to do.
I know, whatever.
On Saturday?
Do, but whatever. That's fine. Not a big deal.
Do that shit Monday to Friday, dude. 9 to 5.
Right?
So.
Yeah. I guess criminals don't wait, Jordan.
Apparently not.
I like to do things whenever, I guess.
Starting to question my decisions. Yeah. I was promised 9 to 5, Monday to Friday.
Mm-hmm.
No call-ins, no call-outs.
That's not how it works.
I was sold a false bill of goods.
Yeah, especially third shift. Like, come on.
No, I'm kidding.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Obviously, that's part of the job.
Yeah. Yep, it happens. But I don't know. I kind of want to just jump right into it here. We got a lot to talk about, I think.
Okay.
There's been a lot of stuff happening to our neighbors up north.
Mm-hmm.
And
in Snogadishu,
dude. It's been crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what your take on all this is. Like, what we know to be true is that there was another shooting in Minneapolis. Another, I guess, officer. What do they call them? Officer-involved shootings. Is that what they call them?
Yeah. They're OISs. Yeah, for sure.
OIS. So, ICE agent shot and killed Alex Pretti. Mm-hmm. And so I guess backstory on the whole thing, because there's a lot more has come out since it happened. And I don't know. It's been kind of, what are you doing here?
I'm just looking something up. Sorry. It's just for reference.
Okay, I got you. I just want to
I'm still listening.
I know if you're texting.
No, just for reference. Just a reference for this conversation.
Okay, so basically what I know is that Alex Pretti, there's been a lot of protests and I guess quote unquote protests in Minneapolis due to ICE involvement up there ever since honestly, it seems like ever since the Somalian fraud scandals up there. So ICE kind of went in and is doing their thing, and it's been not well received by the Minnesotan people. And
obviously,
I know. And so Ice been in there. They already killed, what's her name? Michelle Good? Is her name Michelle? Whatever. Renee. Mm-hmm. Renee Good. Yeah. And I don't know why I thought Michelle. I don't know why I thought that. But anyways, Renee Good, they already shot and killed her. That threw up a bunch of uproar. And, that one seemed like it came out and it's kind of like, oh, yeah, she hit him with her car, and you can argue that however you want, but that's neither here nor there kind of deal. It happened, and kind of it is what it is. She hit an ICE agent with her car, he shot her, and she died. So kind of just there's that. And then, I don't know, a few weeks later, there's another one where this Alex Pretti guy, seemingly from the videos, ICE was pushing people off the streets. He was one of them, and so was a female. And they aggressively push her off the streets, an aggressive nature. Like that's the thing with feds, kind of thing. It's like they're not a scalpel. They're kind of, they're going in there and you get in their way. It's not going to be pretty. Like that's a known thing. Everyone pretty much knows that. I feel like it's pretty common knowledge that, once feds get in there, it's like they don't play kindly to people, kind of get in their way. You get in their way, you get aggressively pushed out of the way or whatever, or worse,
There's one reason for that is qualified immunity.
Oh, yeah.
So they have qualified immunity basically anywhere in the lower 48. So,
yeah, I don't even really know what that means.
It means they can use what they deem to be a reasonable amount of force. Mm-hmm. So they're immune essentially from state laws when they're operating in a federal capacity.
Okay. But like regular cops have that too in their jurisdiction or whatever, right?
Yeah, because we can do things that the regular public can't.
Right. Mm-hmm. So. Like, search warrants and other things that, like I can't just go to someone's house because I think they're up to no good and just, be like, hey, I have this paper signed. I can look through your whole house.
We can make seizures, custodies, and arrests. So we can pull people over, for example, on the side of the road with flashing lights, and you can't do that,
Right. Yeah. That's really against the law, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't even have,
it's a felony.
I can't even have red and blue lights in my vehicle.
No.
To my knowledge.
No. Well, they can't be visible to the outside. You can't have red and blue lights that are visible to the outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So basically, this Alex Pretti guy, he's seemingly trying to help this lady up after being in the road and doing their thing. They're protesting or whatever it is at the time. In this instance, didn't look like there's a whole lot of rioting, but I know we'll get to what happened earlier. We'll get to those events later, but as of this moment, it looked like, he was trying to help a lady up, and then ICE got, he was probably saying some nasty things to the ICE. ICE got frustrated with them and wanted to get him off the road. They were pushing each other around. He got a little uppity. They maced him, threw him on the ground, started beating him up a little bit, or quite a bit. From the video, it looked like they were really getting pretty aggressive with him. And then, from the videos that I seen, a big altercation happened. Lots of ICE agents on top of him, tossed him around and beat him up. And then one ICE agent, it's unclear of what was said at the time and stuff like that, but they see a gun in his waistband. They pull the gun out, and then another ICE officer shoots him and kills him. Mm-hmm. And that was through a whole big uproar because I'm not gonna lie, optics do matter, and it didn't look good for ICE. It did look like they killed an unarmed man that they disarmed. He was armed, and they disarmed him and then shot him. And, we can argue all that stuff, to an extent. Me personally, it's my opinion on the matter. It's I'm not like a, it's hard to say because it's I'm not, when it comes to feds especially, it's I generally don't like them. And I do think all politicians are cunts. And that's just kind of my thought on it. But federal agents, as far as that goes, they are out there conducting lawful operations.
Yeah.
They're, executing deportation orders and everything else. They're doing a lawful act. So it's best not to get in the way of officers of any sort, whether they're federal officers or local police. You don't really want to get in their way when they're, executing search warrants or executing lawful orders. Now, if they're executing unlawful orders, that's a different story. Then now we're talking a totally different bag of worms here, but it's, they're out there doing their job, executing lawful orders, and you get in their way. It's like, especially with tensions being so high in Minneapolis the way it is, but at this moment in time, Pretti looked like he was shot, and he wasn't armed. He was armed, but then he wasn't armed, and then he got shot. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I guess I kind of want to go back. Because the way this whole situation, you really have to look at it in context. If you're just looking at it from that one video, there's no backstory, no context whatsoever. It looks really bad, and it looks like it shouldn't have happened. But when you take in the whole context of the situation, it's like when stuff like this happens, it's usually a complete failure on multiple different levels in both or all sides. ICE maybe should have shown a little more restraint, but at the same time, they're in Minneapolis doing their job, trying to get, illegals off the streets and, trying their best to focus on the worst of the worst, getting them out of there first. But when you have no support from local law enforcement, no support from local government, no support from state government, it's really hard. So you're really left with one choice, and that is to do what they're doing, is basically patrol the streets and just try to find them the hard way. And the hard way doesn't look good, when there's illegal immigrants in custody, in jails, in Minnesota, and they're just not being told where they're at, and they're getting released. Really bad people pedophiles and murderers and other people, really not good people being let out by Minnesota, and they're not being. ICE has they don't have the support in that state. And then you have, on top of all that, this extraordinarily inflammatory rhetoric from Tim Walz and Jacob Fry. It's that just leads to a simmering pot. It's it's going to boil eventually, and it's going to boil over if enough heat gets applied to the situation. And obviously, I think the politicians in Minnesota are doing zero good whatsoever. They're doing a lot of harm, a lot of harm to their own people, because we all know how federal agents work, and when they're when you're trying to prove a political point and use your people as political pawns, and bad stuff happens. And so then people in Minnesota, generally more, left-leaning than anyone else, and they really don't like ICE, and they're being told by their leaders that these are the Gestapo and they're Nazis and all this other stuff. Then people go out there and they legitimately think that they're fighting the Nazi Gestapo out in their streets. Mm-hmm. So they have to, they're going out there with the mindset of they're the enemy, and we need them off the streets by any means necessary. So they are protesting really hard, and they're rioting, and they're doing a lot of shit, and they're getting in the way of ICE, and they're beating officers up, and they're busting out their cars, they're blocking traffic, they're running them down with their vehicles, all this other shit. So a lot of officers, it is the officers and the people in Minnesota, they develop an us versus them mentality. Mm-hmm. And that's not healthy for anyone. So this all that backstory leads up to this, in a culminating event with Alex Pretti getting shot. And it's not as black and white as some people like to say. Oh yeah, you're a fucking bootlicker if you're defending ICE and their actions, or this, that, and the other. And it's not a bootlicker mentality to be you guys need to let them do their job and conduct lawful operations within your state, and your state should be cooperating with them. If they're not, then it's going to lead to what you see in Minneapolis, unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll just preface my statement by saying it's a political clusterfuck. Like you said, the squad up in Minnesota are definitely stoking the flames of contention, and it just creates a melting pot for violence. Mm-hmm. And so ICE is very aggressive up in Minnesota right now, probably going to change after the Pretti shooting, because I think it's been clear to everybody that it was an excessive use of force. Mm-hmm. And I would agree with that, probably, At the same time, though, the ICE agents had probable cause to make arrests up there. So taking people into custody to prove their citizenship is, as far as I know, within legal framework federally. So the big argument is that, ICE is going to houses and kidnapping people for no reason at all. Mm-hmm. Okay, number one, like, what a waste of time for a law enforcement officer to just go to a random house, bang on it, kick it in, steal a brown person, and then put them into custody, take them back to the facility, prove their citizenship or lack of citizenship. Just what, for funsies? Mm-hmm. You know, like it's not something that they do. Like, number one, ICE is extremely undermanned. Like,
oh yeah.
So like these officer-involved shootings are like a colossal waste of time. You know what I mean? Like, mm-hmm. I'll say this though: the Renee Good, I think, was a justified use of force.
I do too.
She hit that dude with the car, mm-hmm. like hurt him, injured him, caused willful bodily injury, which in itself is a felony.
Right, and I think there was actually, I think he actually had injuries, like internal bleeding or some shit, like hemorrhaging inside of his stomach and everything else. So
I think he had some brain trauma too. I could be wrong on that, but
not good.
Yeah, he had injuries for sure, and so that's automatically justification for lethal use of force. The Pretti situation is a little bit more convoluted. Mm-hmm. So number one, the video footage that we get is extremely shitty.
It's all cell phone footage.
Yeah, and it's like, what do we get? Like 90 degrees of an angle, maybe less than that we can see. So we can only see from a perspective where it looks very, very bad. Mm-hmm. It looks like they executed a guy for no reason. That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. 100%. That's what it looks like.
Do I think that's what happened? No, honestly, I don't. I think probably, and this is just pure speculation, so take this for what it's worth. I know I'm known for coming on this podcast and speaking out of my ass. Okay, so
it's not that you are known for that.
I'm speaking for the general viewer.
Yeah,
and talking to people. This is what I hear too. Mm-hmm. Right? Is that number one? It looked like Pretti was reaching for something. He was known to be armed. Mm-hmm. He let it be known. It was discovered, right?
Yeah.
That he was, whether you're legally carrying or not, you're carrying a dangerous weapon.
Yeah. Do you want to go on that? Because he was also known to be violent towards ICE.
Yeah, he's an agitator. Mm-hmm. He's a political agitator. Like, he's a professional activist. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
And the media will say he was a doctor for the VA, and yeah, he was. Thank you for your service, man. Appreciate you, brother. But I've gotten medical care at the VA. Fucking kind of shoddy, but
yeah.
So, like, from the outside looking in, it looks like they just killed a guy for no reason because they didn't like him. They got pissed off at him and like, fuck it, he's got a gun. I can justify this to a court of or a jury of my peers, you know. But I don't really know exactly what happened because we don't get audio from the officer's perspective. We don't get POV footage from like a body cam.
That's kind of the issue too, isn't it?
That's an issue. I think so.
Doesn't wear body cams.
Well, they do.
Well,
they do.
It's not required. Not that they don't.
Probably not.
It is.
But I know they do.
Yeah.
We've seen ICE body cam footage. We've seen axons on ICE agents. Right. So they get them.
The thing is, it's not. I don't think it's required for them to wear it. I think they they can wear it if they want to, kind of deal. It's one of those things. Kind of like how body cams were like that with regular law enforcement for quite a while. It's like, yeah, we got them if you want to, kind of thing, or we can get them, but it's not required right now. But now it's required for pretty much every department.
I know agencies that have body cams and they only require them for proof of evidence and for aiding in report writing and things like that. Something to show a county attorney to say, hey, this was... If you have a body cam, fucking use it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
We've noticed too, like, because I think the body cam requirement was pushed by people on the left, like more anti-police. Yeah. And it turns out that it was actually a good thing because it has gotten, it's shown the officer perspective way better, and you can actually see what they're seeing. So it's gotten a lot of cops, like, not off the hook, not what I'm trying to say, but proven that they were, legitimate.
Yeah, it's a CYA, man.
Yeah.
Covers your ass,
yeah.
You know?
So it's a good thing that it is. So it's kind of one of those things where it does suck when ICE agents aren't wearing them, if they aren't, or if they're not getting turned over to the public or whatever else. I don't think that's a requirement until after whatever. I don't think it's a requirement unless there's a FOIA deal, but...
I mean, a lot of agencies, though, it is their policy for every interaction with the public to have your body cam on.
What?
It is a requirement for, like, the majority of law enforcement agencies, at least in Iowa, that you have to have your body cam on for any official police business.
Correct. I know that's
like a traffic stop or a call for service, things like that.
Yeah, but I just don't think it is federally. I don't think it's federal.
Right. It's not, and it's agency specific. Like it's all in the policy. There's not a law that requires it.
Right. So it is one of those things, like, as in the public eye, we are getting a very out of the action POV.
Yeah, we're getting it from an activist that took a video.
Correct.
And released it.
Yep.
How many other videos are out there that show a different angle and they're just not going to release it because it might make the shooting look justified.
Well, and the same with Renee Good. Like, there's so many points of view that showed that it was like, whoa, that's not good.
Yeah.
You see a different one, you're like, well, maybe it was. Then you see the officer's perspective, you're like, oh, fuck, that was 100% justified.
Well, that's where I'm coming from with this. Is because with the Renee Good one, we saw the perspective of an activist taking a video. And to me, it looked like not a justified shooting. It looked like he got out of the way and then shot her as she was fleeing, which is illegal.
Correct.
But that's not what happened. We saw in the body cam footage that he shot as he was being pursued.
Being hit.
He was trying to prevent getting fucking run over and dragged across the street.
Or, in that split-second decision, outside of just yourself, it's like, what's she going to do after that? Is she going to whip that car around and hit the rest of your boys or hit someone else or whatever else?
Well, she would get an arrest warrant for attempted murder
as far
of a
as
law enforcement officer.
If that does enter your brain in that split-second decision as an officer, it's like, outside of just yourself, like, who knows what she's going to do with that vehicle afterwards? Commit more violence? Use it as a weapon some more? Who knows?
It's the equivalent to taking a gun out and pointing at a cop.
Let it shoot.
Yeah.
Well,
you would be justified in getting shot for
the biggest thing is intent there, right?
Yeah,
exactly. She showed intent with the vehicle, but he didn't show any intent. And I know you said it looks like, because there was a point of view that I saw too, where it's like, yeah, it did look like he's going for it, but he's already disarmed, but he's still like, looked like he's reaching for it, but that could also be argued that he was just trying to cover himself up and like get the officers off him because he's getting his ass beat. He was getting his ass beat. But I guess like the backstory on that too is like, not that long before that, he was being very aggressive towards ICE. He kicked out their tail light, was yelling a bunch of shit at him, yelling at him like, mace me, fucking shoot me, all this other shit. Like, I don't know if it's like a mindset over there where people want to be martyred in this way for their side. I don't know what it is, but
no, I don't think it's that. And I've heard
when you're saying stuff like that, where you're like, mace me, fucking shoot me, tase me, whatever, all this other shit. It's like, what are you trying to get with that?
Well, yeah, they want to be victims. They want to but they don't want to be killed.
Well,
but
maybe not. I mean, they're just trying to throw out a bluff situation. Yeah, like, I don't fucking shoot me, pussy.
No, I don't think like Pretti or Good were suicidal. I think that they have been insulated by Minnesota politics and the Minnesota, I guess you could say, like, political culture. That you can go out and flip over police cars and loot buildings, and so if you can do those things, I mean, why couldn't you kick out the taillight of a fucking ICE agent?
That's true.
Especially when you got somebody like your mayor and your governor saying confront ICE agents in the streets.
Yeah,
like
inciting violence.
Number one, I can't believe that that's legal.
It's not, dude. That's
a
the thing.
Politician to say that and do that, because like that in my opinion, is inciting violence.
100%
against federal agents. So like, and I'm not like some weird federal bootlicker or anything like that. It's just I'm trying to put my perspective in both sides. So,
well, that's why I want to talk to you about this, because you're a newer cop, but you're still,
I'm a rookie.
You're in there. You're in there enough to a lot more than I am, where it's like, I mean, getting your perspective on this kind of stuff is very helpful, because I'm coming at it from a straight up civilian point of view. Granted, I'm more, pro fucking law enforcement than like, people in Minnesota and shit, obviously, because they're like super against any law and order kind of deal. But, as a civilian, as just a member of society, and as a Christian too, it's like, I want to not have this type of violence, but at the same time, like, there needs to be law and order. And there needs to be laws. And there needs to be immigration laws. And when those laws are broken, they do have to be, enforced.
Yeah.
It's just the end of that. It's the end of the story, dude. Like, how those laws get enforced is up to the agencies, whether they're local, state, or federal. It's like, it's up to those agencies to conduct those operations as needed. But we do need to have law and order in the streets, otherwise we don't have play society. And you know, in Minnesota, it's like there's definitely not play society going on there because it's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, there's under the Biden administration was how many millions of illegal immigrants that flooded our country?
We don't even know.
We don't even know. And we don't even know like the motives behind them because we have absolutely no process to track who came through. I mean, we remember the videos of, you know, like skid loaders holding up the fucking border wire with border patrol agents just watching these people flood in the fucking country. It's like, and we've seen the interviews of people down there waiting to get in.
Yep.
And like, you know, there's a lot of Chinese, there's a lot of African, there's a lot of people that are not from Mexico or Guatemala. So it's like, what are the motives there? There has to be something. And I don't know. I don't see it as some coincidence that we have a massive flood of fentanyl in our country now, especially when there's been proof that there has been Chinese trafficking of fentanyl through way of Mexico. You know,
well, the majority of fentanyl comes from China. Like they manufacture it, for good and evil, you know, kind of deal.
And there's a big drug that has been popular. It's popular mostly in like Philadelphia. It's called Trank. I don't remember the exact. That's the street name for it. I don't remember the exact, you know, manufacturer name for it anymore. But it's essentially a tranquilizer for animals, and people are injecting it. And if you don't inject it properly in the vein, and if you miss it and hit tissue, it'll cause necrosis of that tissue almost instantaneously. So you see people up in, you know, K&A in Philadelphia that have, you know, these massively swollen arms where they missed veins or legs or whatever, and the only way you can solve that is by amputation. If you survive it.
Shit.
But there's literally people just dying in the streets up there from that shit.
Not good.
But that's a Chinese-made pharmaceutical. And so, I mean, there's massive issues that come with just, you know, just willy-nilly border policy. So it is a national security issue.
Oh, 100%, dude.
And what issue they're seeing in Minnesota, I couldn't tell you. I could speculate. We all speculate. There's been a lot of speculation, but we don't know because we don't see the investigation because they're open investigations. So
yeah,
you know,
right.
We just kind of have to, I hate to say this, but like, if you don't agree with it, wait for, because this is like a massive operation, you know, just wait for it to simmer down a bit, and then you can pursue legal avenues to take it that way. Just like when, you know, post 9/11, when all those big homeland security laws were getting passed, a lot of invasions of privacy and stuff like that, you know, whistleblowers came out and legislation was pushed through. Eventually, it's a long process, takes a while, but I think it would have been bad if like libertarians and, you know, more libertarian conservatives took to the streets and just started beating the shit out of DHS agents. We probably would have been killed. You know?
Oh, yeah. Definitely would have been killed. And that's the thing is that you need to, I feel like we need to try our best to do it as, you know, peacefully as possible. You know, like you said, if you don't agree with it, there's different avenues of approach. And that stuff does take a while and it takes a long time. But unfortunately, it's like, yeah, in order to do it peacefully, you do have to be, doesn't sound bad, but it's like you do have to be treaded on for a little bit to get the proof.
Sure.
You have to prove that it is unlawful, and the only way to prove that is if it happens unlawfully, and then you go at it from that perspective. It's like, yeah, this is kind of against the Constitution. And then you have to fight the legal battle on that stuff. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate these laws, those unconstitutional laws, get passed, and they have to be fought that way. But yeah, if you want to do complete role reversal, it's like, yeah. But the biggest difference is that those were actual unconstitutional laws.
Yeah.
Immigration and border policy is not an unconstitutional law. Just to lock down the border and say no more immigration, that's not in the Constitution. Matter of fact, I don't think the founders really believed in immigration, period. I think they thought that America should be populated by Americans and there should be virtually no immigration. Granted, that didn't work out necessarily. That's why we allowed immigration to a certain extent, you know, but it's always been very careful on where we accept immigrants from, like what countries we accept them from, and what they're going to do while they're here. And they've always been kind of kept a close eye on while they're here. We did have issues with immigration with the Irish and, other people too. They came here and they did, or Italians and stuff too. We all know about, during Prohibition, like who are the majority of the mobsters, they're fucking Italians.
But the issue isn't immigrants. The issue is illegal immigrants.
That's the thing.
Undocumented because...
But what I'm getting at is those were legal immigrants and we still had issues with them. It took them a while to assimilate and figure it out. But they were also legal immigrants. Now you have illegal immigrants with no tracking. There's no way to track them and no way to like keep an eye on them because you don't know if they're here or not.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue for me. It's like we already had issues with certain immigrants that were legally here.
Yeah.
Now we're letting them in illegally and we have no course of keeping an eye on them while they're here. They're doing the right thing.
And we don't quite have like a due process system that, holds illegal immigrants accountable yet.
Right.
That's an issue too, in my opinion, because like it's kind of like catch and release at this point. It's like, hopefully they'll pay their fine. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they'll show up to jail and serve their time. It's difficult with any kind of dealing with any kind of undocumented immigrant, but
it's very difficult. And the thing that bothers me the most is that the left, as far as like the political left, the politicians, they are not against immigration law and against deportations because Obama was, the deporter in chief kind of thing. Like people called him like the far left at the time. Were like, yeah, he's deporting a lot of illegals. This is wrong. And but he didn't get a whole lot of like political backlash for it. Like really, actually none at all because he was on their side. And they're like, yeah, okay, sounds good, Mr. President. But now you have a Republican president in office that is trying to do the same thing, but he has no support as far as in, blue states kind of thing. It's like there's no support there. But when Obama was doing it, he had support from, basically every state government because Republican states agreed with it. And, the Democrat states agreed with it because he's a Democrat. Yeah. So the issue isn't necessarily right versus left or Democrat versus Republican. It's an issue more or less with like, just the left, honestly, like the far left to start taking over the Democrat Party, and that's not good for anyone. And it's just hard. Maybe I'm looking at it a little biased, but it's hard to have a good faith discussion with someone that isn't going to reciprocate. So it is a lot easier just to be like, okay, you know what? For me, it'd be a lot easier to just be like, yep, Pretti got what he deserved, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's convenient.
It's very convenient, but I can't do that. Like the left, they can do that. They can be like, oh yeah, like if that happened to me, and it was because the ATF came to my house to, take my guns or whatever, and I fought back and got killed, they'd all say like, oh yeah, got what he deserved. Should have fucking just listened, kind of deal. It'd be a lot easier for me just to say like, yeah, Pretti got what he deserved. He didn't listen to law enforcement, and he, deserved to die. But I can't say that with a good conscience without going through the nuance.
Yeah.
And do I think Pretti should have gotten killed? No. But do I think that his death was entirely the fault of the ICE agents that pulled the trigger? No. I don't think it's really their fault at all. They're just trying to do their job and do what they were sent there to do kind of deal. And, it was not the right answer.
Yeah.
So it does sound bootlicker to be like, yeah, well, they're just trying to do their job because that's what they would say too if the roles were reversed, kind of deal. But, I don't know. It's just such a tricky situation because it's hard to support the feds without sounding like a bootlicker, kind of deal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these nuances do matter, and the situation does matter. They aren't doing anything illegal. They're just enforcing immigration policy.
Yeah, you also have to look at it from the perspective of Pretti was armed, and he possibly could have been armed with intent.
Could have been.
That's a separate issue in itself, other than because like a lot of people are just looking at it from the perspective of he was legally carrying,
which he was,
but that doesn't matter once your intent is violence.
Right.
Once you start assaulting law enforcement officers while you're armed, then it could be entering the discussion of was he armed with intent?
Well, we
don't know.
That's the issue is we don't know.
And
you're supposed to know before you.
That's the thing. That's why I'm saying that I think there's going to be a little bit of grace with the ICE agents in this situation in court by the jury. because it's going to enter into that category.
Right.
It's going to be, number one, there's 2 case laws, Supreme Court case laws, that sort of protect law enforcement officers in making split-second decisions that involve officer safety. So he was not obeying lawful commands. Let me see your hands, get on the ground. I need to seize you right now so that I can determine if,
or detain or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's what detaining is. It's a seizure.
Okay, gotcha.
Under constitutionality.
Okay.
So, could enter into that discussion. I don't know if it will or not, but proving intent is very difficult if you don't have the perspective of the person whose intent that you're trying to prove.
Well, unfortunately, it's unfortunate for officer safety situation. It's hard to prove intent when he doesn't have his gun in hand.
Yeah, but I
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the way I see it though is that the agents are covered by what is it, Tennessee v. Connor and Graham, or Tennessee v. Garner and Graham v. Connor for. But it's going to come up to the jury whether they determine that to be a reasonable use of force.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's the issue with officer-involved shootings too, is that can you prove that it was reasonable? Because that's the justification for measurement.
And we don't have the audio very clearly either. We don't know what was happening up close and personal with them, whether the guy was saying, I'm going to fucking shoot you guys.
Yeah.
If Pretty's sitting there saying, like, I'm going to fucking shoot you guys, I'm going to kill you guys, I'm going to do all this other stuff, then it totally changes everything.
Yeah, but we have enough audio of him saying, spray me, cuff me.
Yeah.
I don't know if he said shoot me. Did he say?
So that happened like 11 days prior to that
so
event.
it could have been like a suicide by cop scenario where they see it as a suicide by cop scenario, and people don't know this very dangerous situation. If somebody's trying to get killed by a cop, they might kill a cop to have it happen.
Oh yeah.
So
because what we have seen in the past is a lot of cops do offer a lot of grace. Like just holding a gun doesn't necessarily get you shot, which is a good thing.
Not anymore.
Which is a good thing. Yeah. Officers should always show restraint, especially if they do have the upper hand, they have their guns pointed at them. They're like, okay, the second that thing comes up, then I'm going to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so people that do want suicide by cop, they have to present and possibly shoot in order to get shot. But I don't know, that's putting a lot of stuff in, like, that didn't happen. Pretty didn't grab his gun, but he might have been yelling certain things that we don't know. It's not clear.
Yeah, that's not clear. Issue. And that also might bite the ICE agent in the ass, is not having body cam footage.
Might, if they don't.
At least we just don't know if he has body cam footage or not. They might have it, and they might just be keeping it until court comes.
Yeah, which is totally fine.
Or if it gets FOIA'd.
If it gets FOIA'd, that's a different story because you have to. But at the same time, like, they don't have to show it unless they get FOIA'd.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. And FOIA is Freedom of Information Act. Like, if pretty much, to my knowledge, anyone can file it as long as they have correct support for it, kind of deal. Yeah. You can FOIA records as long as they're public records. They just aren't like, there's no FOIA website where everything has to get uploaded to, but you have to submit and get the information. Well, there might be body cam footage. We don't really know. There's still a lot of stuff that we don't know. But what we do know is that there is also, I don't know if I'd call it conspiracy, but there's certain video footage kind of makes it look like that gun that was taken off of Pretti fired.
Yeah.
And it is a SIG P320. Yeah. So I'm like, we don't know because the footage is grainy as shit and you can't really tell. But there is a certain perspective where it does kind of look like, as the ICE officer is running off with his gun pointed down, it does kind of look like maybe it fired.
Yeah.
So
it does.
That would completely change everything too. Like if he's running off with a gun and it fires and officers are like, fuck, I know he had a gun at one point in time. Maybe he had another one.
Yeah.
And then they hear a gunshot and they shoot him. Like that's a complete, well, that sucks, but it is what it is kind of situation.
Yep.
We don't know. But
if that's the case, that changes everything.
It changes everything. But did you see that video where it does kind of look like it fired?
I saw a bunch of videos. And fucking AI, dude. Like, there's all kinds of AI videos of it. So, like, I don't know what's real anymore.
That's true. And it's bad footage already.
Yeah.
So then you have AI.
easy.
They're like, oh yeah, it's easy to make it look like a shot.
Yeah.
Just make a little puff from the barrel and make a little puff in the ground.
And if people don't know this, I am the biggest sucker for AI videos. I get fucking fooled constantly.
The gorilla?
Dude,
That was a good one, though.
Donkey Bonk. Or Bonky Kong. Bonky Kong got me.
That was a good one, though. That did look good.
It was too good not to be real. There's another one. There's another one of like those gel skulls that like Grantham uses to shoot and stuff, like the ballistic skull things. There was one that's like a bunch of different dog bites, and it was like golden retriever and it like barely did anything, and it was like Rottweiler and just fucking goes straight through it. I watched. I was like, damn, this is so cool, dude. I'm gonna send this to my wife, and fucking I sent it to her, and she just lost it. She's hysterically laughing. You are a fucking boomer. This is AI as fuck. And it's like, I'm gonna be honest. I still watch that video today, and still looks real to me.
You have to show me that one. I haven't seen it.
I can't tell the difference. But yeah, so
that's true. I didn't even think about that. Like AI could have been instituted in some of these camera footage.
Yeah,
some of this camera footage, and I'd take an investigation to figure it out because it does look good. A lot of shit looks good. I even saw an AI video of Hitler winning the UFC belt. I'm like, that looks really good. Obviously not true, but it looks good. Like it looks really good. But yeah, I didn't even think about the technology standpoint of it. Mm-hmm. A lot of that shit could be fake as hell.
Yeah.
But you don't know until there's an investigation. That's the other thing too. Is like, the court of public opinion is going to have their thoughts already. Generally people on the right, and I will say too, this shooting. Okay, let me frame it this way here. This shooting is bad, obviously, but the blowback from it afterwards, like immediately afterwards, was far worse. Like I think, to me personally, like the shooting itself is bad and that needs an investigation on itself and everything else. But man, people in the Trump administration really showed their ass in this, in my opinion. There's a lot of pro 2A guys and groups out there that are just like, this is fucking crazy. Like Trump's supposed to be the most pro 2A president in history, right? And he's going up there saying like, well, he shouldn't have been armed. It's like, well, he's exercised. You want to look at it this way. Pretti was exercising his First Amendment right for at least a little bit. Whether he crossed the line into, being a rioter or an aggravator, that's to be determined. But let's just say it this way. He was exercising his First Amendment right, and you are allowed to exercise your second while you do your first.
So let's pause there for a second.
Okay.
Because that bothers me too, and it bothers me for a couple of reasons. He's at a protest, right? Now, whether he's like there to destroy shit and fight cops or whatever his deal is, like, why wouldn't you be armed at a protest?
Right? Why wouldn't you?
Like, everybody should be armed. I would be too. Fuck yeah. I mean, you can't say that Pretti shouldn't have been armed in one breath, and then in the next breath say Kyle Rittenhouse was validated.
No, 100%. And that in that comparison got used a lot by people on the left and the right.
Yeah.
Pro 2A guys are saying the same thing. Like, hey, guys, we lauded Kyle Rittenhouse for
openly carrying an AR-15
Yep.
and defending himself.
Yep.
And he did justifiably. Mm-hmm. Like any reasonable person would have.
Correct.
He was presented with violence. He defended himself.
Now, I will say this. In this situation, let's say Pretti is like super compliant. It's like, okay, hey, you know what? Like, I'm just trying to I don't agree with what you guys are doing. I'm trying to basically say you guys are fucking scumbags for what you're doing, but I'm trying to do it the right way. He's on the sidewalk. He's doing everything perfectly fine. ICE comes off the road because he's saying inflammatory things, which is not illegal. Let's just say this situation, and then ICE just runs towards him and starts attacking him. And he pulls out his gun and fucking boom, 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 and fucking kills all the ICE agents and then gets away. I'd be like, damn, lawful shooting. I'd be on his side. And if all the footage and all of the facts come on, like ICE, he was protesting and ICE swarmed him and he just killed them all. I'd be like, damn, well, that makes sense. They're over here doing their thing and then they turn around, reroute, and come attack him. It didn't happen, obviously. I'm just saying, like, if that did happen, that would be a lawful shooting as well. But the thing is, like, if you're going to a protest and you're in your carrying, like that is not illegal. And for Kash Patel and Donald Trump, and I don't know if Kristi Noem said it specifically, but she did mention fully loaded gun with fully loaded spare magazine. 2 magazines, 2 fully loaded magazines. What are they there for? What is he there for? Obviously, he wants to kill ICE agents.
Irrelevant.
Doesn't matter. You go to the grocery store with fucking 2 or 3 guns and 14 magazines. Not illegal, dude.
No.
Not fucking illegal. So my biggest issue is the fact that, these Republican politicians, Trump, Kash Patel, the people already listed, they are doing way more. They sound like liberals, dude. They sound like anti-gun liberals when they talk like that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we're at a place in politics in this country where something like this happens and you just have to pick a side and blindly just kind of accept it.
Which I don't believe in at all. I know you don't either.
Fuck no.
But the thing is, it's like, I'm
just speaking
like,
for the masses.
Right.
Like, that's just how people feel now. Mm-hmm. Is that, you're either with Trump or you're with them.
And I feel like being as pro gun as I am, I feel I cannot justify that rhetoric from them. I can't do it from those people listed. It's like they can't. I will denounce that for the rest of time because what they said was absolutely fucking wrong, and they're wrong for saying it. You can argue everything else that we already argued and discussed. You can argue all that stuff. That's all arguable, whether you agree with the ICE shooting or not, whether you are on Pretti's side or the ICE side. That can be argued. What cannot be argued is your rights.
Yeah.
Your Second Amendment rights cannot be argued. And that goes for people on the right and the left.
Yeah.
Like, would I agree with Pretti's politics? Absolutely not. Do I agree with him exercising his Second Amendment rights to carry when he feels like if he has to use it, he wants it on his person, and he's legally allowed to carry, especially in Minnesota. It turns out he had a concealed carry permit from Minnesota. So he's legally carrying. And, it's like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we got to get off that.
Yeah.
We got to get off that. You can't steer the train off that either, being them, because they can't turn around. And I do get it on this point, on this perspective. I do understand why it's a lot easier to just keep doubling down. Because even what I've seen this online, dude, a guy comes out and is like, hey, I voted for Trump. I'm a fucking Republican. I'm a pro 2A guy. And I think this is wrong. This is wrong for them to say this and try to paint Pretti as a domestic terrorist for just simply carrying a handgun. But then you get in the comments and you see people like, bruh, not good enough. You shouldn't have voted for Trump then. You're getting what you voted for. You can't complain. It's like, okay, so you're telling me I can't try to hold my side accountable for saying or doing something wrong, because if I do, then I get lambasted by the left for not doing it hard enough.
Yeah. Well,
that doesn't make sense. Like,
that's what they do.
I know that's what they do.
They're collectivists.
And that's what bothers me, because on the right, from my perspective, from people on the right or Republicans or conservatives or whatever you want to call them, whatever little square box you want to put, people like that in.
To the right of Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. We'll say that. People to the right of Bernie Sanders, there is a lot more room for nuance and conversation and disagreements. Like, we don't cast each other out for disagreeing.
Yeah, no, we talk.
We talk about it and be like, oh, well, you're wrong for this. And, I feel like this, we talk about things. On the left, there's not. You constantly get cast out. And if you're on the right and you're trying, because on the flip side of that, a bunch of fucking liberals are online screaming like, where are you guys at? Where are you pro-gun guys at? Where's the pro-2A fucking hoorah? Da, 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 da. Like, Scotty Fitness, he's on TikTok. He's a fucking faggot. But he was talking like that too. And he's like,
guy with the mustache.
big ass mustache.
Oh God, yeah, I hate that.
He has a fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
But he was on there and he was like, where are you fucking hoorah gun toting motherfuckers at now? Oh, but since it's on your side, you can't criticize. Like, are you alive?
Yeah,
do you have eyes and ears, you fucking queer? Like, can you not see that people on the right are denouncing this rhetoric from the right?
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking stupid? And they're just not giving them a chance. They're not giving him a chance because they already have their mind made up. Right? Bad. Republican, bad. If you defend Trump in anything or voted for Trump, you're bad. You're evil. you're this, that, and the other. So they already have their mind made up. So it is a lot easier to just double down and side with them. But that is dangerous on that side, because if you are turning around saying like, yep, shouldn't have been armed.
Well, here's the thing.
You're fucking wrong.
Here's the thing about the left. They're the biggest hypocrites in the world, and that's just widely known. Everybody to the right of Bernie Sanders knows that the radical left is, actually, I would just say the entire left wing at this point is the radical left. There's no more moderate left.
They've been taken over.
Yeah, for sure. But like things like this happen, and all of a sudden they're pro 2A. And then something like we'll say like two things happen in sequence, right? Like we'll say we're having a national topic of abortion issues, and then a school shooting happens. And for some reason, that formula always appears. And then all of a sudden they go, "Oh, you take them away.
Yep.
You need to, just this, just that." And then it slowly starts creeping over into more platforms and more fucking firearm styles, right? First it's military assault weapons. Then it's fucking Glock switches, and then it's Glocks.
Yeah, period.
And then it's anything that looks like a Glock. It's just going to slowly creep over until it's just mass confiscation.
Yeah,
that's not a fucking bolt action rifle for whatever reason, which causes way more damage, but whatever.
Well, yeah, but you don't have the magazine capacity.
Magazine capacity, but you
have to reload every time.
You have to stalk and
so we want assassins rather than
We want people to just get away with it.
Yeah, right.
We want
shoot them from really far away and get away with
Harry
it.
Oswalds.
Yeah.
Or Lee Harvey Oswalds.
There you go. Harry. I like Harry.
Yeah, Harry's cool.
That's a cooler name.
But, for somebody like Scotty Fitness, he's just the typical leftist that brings up this argument. And it's like, okay, go back to where you were at, because, like, we don't take you seriously, all right? We're having conversations with adults here.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking... I don't know any conservative personally, this is anecdotal, right? That would say Pretti had no right to be armed.
Well, we don't know him personally.
I don't know.
Trump and fucking.
There are some weirdos out there on the right that are just hardcore MAGA.
Yeah.
And they're just, whatever Trump does, Trump good.
Just as bad.
They have no critical thinking skills.
Just as dangerous as the thought process of people on the left, because that's exactly what people on the left do. A lot more of, obviously, is like, anything left good, everything right bad. Yeah. But there is some nuance left on the right, so we do need to call these people out for their anti-gun stance, which is fucking. But
they don't excommunicate. That's the difference.
No,
with the right,
there's a way back.
Yeah,
I'm saying it right now. Like Trump and Cash Patel and all of them, they can turn it around and we'll be like, okay, you fucked up. Let's move on and be done with it. Don't do it again. Spank them a few times, figure it out, moving on.
Redirect course.
I think it's honestly because maybe it's just because of me being the way I am, but I think it's because a lot of people, a lot more than on the left, there's a lot less secularism on the right. There's a lot more Christians on the right than there are on the left. So there's a lot. We know people are going to fuck up and say wrong things. But there's a pathway to forgiveness on the left. Being as secular as they are, even if they are leftist Christians, they still don't seem to want to forgive as much as like anything else because they're weird about it.
Let's just call leftist Christians what they are, heretics.
Yeah,
let's just be honest.
For the most part.
Like, you cannot call yourself a follower of Christ and condone abortion.
No.
Plain and simple.
No.
Period, cut and dry. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you could debate with Christianity. The sanctity of human life is not one of them.
No.
But I would say, like, the biggest difference between the right and the left with conversations like this is that, like the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, the left was typing up legislation.
Correct.
And proposing it and fighting for it to affect everyone. The right is just saying it.
That's true.
Like Cash Patel's just saying, that fucker was armed. What an idiot, basically, is what he's saying.
Pretty much.
Trump is basically saying, shouldn't have had a gun.
And Trump he might say he's pro 2A, but he's not a gun guy. He doesn't get it.
None of them are, dude. No. I don't think, really. No. I just...
Trump Jr. is, but he's a big hunter and everything else. He knows guns. But Donald Trump doesn't know guns, dude.
Number one, he's way too rich to care about. He's had armed security his whole life.
He's a Manhattan billionaire, dude.
If I was like some Nepo baby that just grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth, I wouldn't be a gun guy. If I had no reason to be a gun guy, I probably wouldn't be.
Yeah, I think if I was.
I got into guns as a way to defend myself and my home and my family.
Yeah, because it's just you.
And then
you're the first line of defense.
The fun stuff followed.
Yeah, right.
Like I got a gun because it's like I feel vulnerable without one. So it was home defense, personal defense, and then I got into competition shooting and everything else. And this is just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I got into guns because of hunting. I wanted to hunt. I like hunting. That's my hobby. I like to do that. And then it led into everything else. But I joined both of us joined the military pretty young, and went overseas, and we kind of realized there, like, oh yeah, very valid self-defense tool. Defended myself and my friends with it pretty well. So it's kind of one of those things where you get a whole different respect for it when you do actually have to use it to save your life, essentially. But yeah, I don't know. I just didn't feel like I needed to call out the anti-gun rhetoric on the right, and I thought about posting like a stupid reel on Instagram and shit about it, but I'm like, I'm not that guy. This I like having nuanced conversation about stuff like that. But people on the right, they need to stand on principle. That's something that the left will not do ever. But we have to. We don't have that luxury of being able to just tuck our head in the sand and call our night and just blindly follow. We can't do that. If we're going to say that we are the side with facts and rules and being able to stand on our own morals and everything else, then we do need to call out each other as well. Just not, if not harder than we call out the left.
For sure. I agree.
Because the left is lost. It is what it is. People within on the left, they need to fix it themselves. Because I do think that having an entirely right government is not good. There needs to be differing views. We just can't differ on the concrete rights that we have in America, which made America great and in what it is. We have to agree on those things. Everything else we can argue.
Yeah, we have to stand on principle.
We have to,
because that's the only thing that holds the conservative side together at all. We can fight and we can argue and we can bicker. I don't care. We agree on the most fundamental issues. The left, however, eats its own constantly. I mean, the radical left continually, I think daily, at least event to event, keeps getting smaller.
Yeah.
So they have all these fucking just, knee clutching issues like abortion and gun rights and everything else. And then something like this happens. And then now all of a sudden you're seeing, photos and videos of Antifa training camps with military assault rifles. It's like, you guys wanted to get rid of those for everybody not too long ago, and you're proving to the rest of the country that you only want them taken away from people that you don't like.
Do you want one?
So the left, people on the left that are actually staunchly anti AR-15, for example, that just they see these school shootings, they're like, we got to take them away. They're going to see that and go, wait, you fucking hypocrites. I was on your side because we're getting rid of those. So they're going to eventually filter out. And just not participate with that anymore. And it's going to birth more moderate liberal candidates over time.
I hope so. It is one thing that I've noticed, though, with the left, is that if you get far enough left, you do become pro-gun. Because they genuinely think that they're fighting fascism.
Yeah. Well,
they're like, oh, we had to fight fascism with guns. We have to learn how to use guns. And if you get far enough left, you do end up being pro-gun ultimately. But it's like, what are you fighting for? That's the issue now. It's kind of because on Reddit there's a huge thread, a huge forum in Reddit where it's socialist gun owners.
Yeah.
I can't start a group and call it, fascist gun owners.
No.
They'll get fucking banned off everything.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's because we're not fascists. That's why.
That's true too. But say
number one, nobody would join it because the term fascist was coined by the left to demonize us.
That's true. But also, let's say I just turned fascist. I still couldn't start a group and, it'd be cancel off everything. Yeah. But you can be proudly, openly socialist and say you want guns to fight fascism. And it's like, oh, on every social media, you're fine. No big deal. But the thing I don't know, it's just the hypocrisy bothers me with some of these guys on the right. But ultimately, it's like, guys, we have to call each other out to make things better. and keep things on track, because the left is ultimately kind of fucking lost, dude.
Well, it's lost and it's dying, and it's gonna die completely. I mean, not completely, like 100%, but it's gonna leave the court of public opinion very soon, because, I mean, let's just look at national elections. Like whenever has a radical left politician won the White House?
Yeah, not yet.
When has a radical right won the White House?
Recently.
Now,
Yeah.
actually, what, 2 terms?
Yeah, and
So
that's one thing I have said for a long time, like just in private, like without the cameras rolling and stuff. I don't know if I said on this podcast, but the pendulum effect is real. We swing left, and then we swing right harder. We swing left harder, and we swing right even harder. It's like, I'm not really scared of, because I think that there's a lot of that happening on the left where they eat their own and all this other stuff. And they used to do a really good job of just blindly voting down the line and being on each other's side, essentially.
vote blue no matter who.
Yeah, blue no matter who kind of thing. But the powers that be in the deep state don't want radical leftism yet. But on the right, there's a lot more bigger populist movement where I am afraid of the pendulum swinging too far right, because a straight up, like too far, like super far right candidate, I could see winning, and that's scary.
Oh yeah,
I don't want that, because it all leads to tyranny, whether it's left wing tyranny or right wing tyranny. Like, I feel like it might hit far right tyranny with this much shit going on, and I don't want that. I don't want that at all. And when Trump starts talking about third term, it's like, come on, guy, what are we doing here? Let's not do this. Let's just not do this.
Do that.
You guys too far.
Number 1, you're too fucking old.
Well, that too.
Number 2, I don't know what this term was, but it's not what he said it was. We got sold a false bill of goods on this term for Trump, to be completely honest with you. Like, it's been disappointment after disappointment. And I'll say this, I mean, like, thankfully we didn't get Biden again or Harris.
Right.
So, like, yeah, the better of two evils, I suppose, but
it was fucking or what, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, things like the Charlie Kirk event happen, and like the radical right just gets more radical, more black-pilled. And that's scary. That's scary to me as a conservative.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine as a fucking weird lefty how scary it is. Because dude, I'm going to be honest with you, those are some scary bros.
There's some scary bros.
And like they will devour Antifa in one night. Completely.
Easily gone.
And it's like, we're not ready for like bloodshed like that.
No.
And I don't ever want to see that in American history ever again.
No, me neither. It's scary. It'd be a scary time to live through for sure, especially with the amount of weaponry we have.
Oh, and just the massive like backlash for generations, for centuries. I mean, we still deal with social backlash today from the American Civil War. Like, there's still a divide between, blacks and whites. Still. And it's still because of slavery. And those issues came to face after emancipation.
Right.
So, like, after this Civil War, who knows how many countless generations we're going to have to deal with this one.
A long time.
A
long fucking time. It'd take a lot of healing, which, holy shit, how do you do that?
Yeah.
And,
like, like, who's going to write the history books is going to be the winner, And then let's say, like, the socialists win, Antifa wins, be like, my granddad, he was a Trump supporter. Like, I got his MAGA hat in my closet.
Right. Yeah.
It's like,
right.
Ooh, don't tell anybody that.
Shit.
Like, your grandpa was a piece of shit,
Yeah.
Just like how people now talk about, like, yeah, my, great-great-grandfather was a German soldier in World War II.
Yeah. My great-grandpa was a World War II veteran.
Yeah. It's it's atrocity propaganda.
Yeah, it'd be wacky. It
sucks.
Dude.
Like, and we don't need that. We just need to keep arguing, keep talking.
I will say, if say like the far left wins and the Civil War breaks out and all this other shit, and they end up winning somehow or something like that crazy happens, like, people on the right that have been demonized or whatever else, we'd probably just leave and unfortunately take over a different country. It's like we just be like, hey, we're just got to take something else over and like lick our wounds and figure something else out. And then they destroyed this territory for a long time, and we just make something better somewhere else. That's kind of what happens.
I'd grab a platoon of the hardest hitting bros I know and just parachute into Greenland.
Yeah, it wouldn't be super hard. It's inhabitable enough.
We're all just dropping in there like fucking Fortnite.
Yeah, and then we could always, like, once America gets destroyed, we could come back over and take it back over and then, like, reestablish.
Yep.
And figure it out and make America great again. But I don't know. I think it's just one of those things where I really wanted to, get your perspective on these things, obviously. And I want to record more, obviously, less politics stuff. This is a very political centered episode, but we're going to get into some fun stuff later on. But it's just one of those things where so much is happening right now. And I know I just have, probably 3 or 4 people listening, but hopefully those 3 or 4 people got something out of this, where it's like, we do have to do something with this time in our lives. We have to figure something out. We can't be afraid to call out our own. We have to keep calling out our own, but we also have to do it in a way where we're not ostracizing each other like the left does. And because in my opinion, like, the left is much more destructive to the good of America than the right is as of right now. That's all. It could all change tomorrow, but we don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd go as far to say that, but
I'm talking more socially than I am like
sure
Civil War-y type stuff. Like, socially speaking, the left is very destructive.
Yeah, the radicals are nuts. The
radicals, the radical left,
and a lot of people are getting radicalized now because that's like the edgelord internet thing to do now.
Yeah,
it's
it
just
is.
Be fucking massively radical, and it's just fucking annoying.
It's fucking annoying.
I don't know.
Let's be adults.
Yeah, just be an adult. Like, you're not walking around in real life saying these things,
right? Yeah, you're saying,
and that goes to the right too. Like, these weird, like, insanely far right dudes. Like, you're not walking around calling people the N-word, dude. You're saying it on the internet.
Yeah,
and it's just not cool anymore.
Well, like the old saying of, that person probably hasn't been punched in the face for saying the things that they say. That's probably true even on the edge. This is edgelords, and they're internet sleuths, where it's like, it is what it just, you're not going to oust them all out, but
people are sucked into the power of internet influencers right now, and it's just annoying.
We need
Go
more,
out and fucking dry fire instead of doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and you have to the only way to combat the fucking internet sleuths is to become one, essentially, sometimes, So we need more people fighting it on the internet, because that is kind of ground zero, which seems weird, but it is kind of ground zero. Unfortunately, it's like you don't have to get everyone together in a town square anymore. You can do it on the internet.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, opinions are changed on the internet for sure, but it's gay.
It is gay.
I don't like doing it anymore.
Yeah,
I am a retired troll.
That's good. I'm not trying to troll anyone either. I'm trying to have open, honest conversation.
I had my fun.
It was fun.
And like, I like to do this. I have inside jokes with myself.
Yes.
And I love like throwing something weird out to somebody and they just don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I just make myself laugh for a little while.
Yeah. And I know, it's like, I say things I don't mean all the time. I said a lot of stuff on here that I do mean, but at the same time, like, I do incorporate, maybe I should be more open about when I'm joking. Because sometimes I say stuff where I'm just like, yeah, everyone knows that I'm joking, Like, I got called a retard online the other day because I was talking about banded geese with Jeremy Bond and how this goose got double banded. I'm like, that goose is kind of stupid because it got caught twice. Some guy on Instagram called me a fucking retard because he's like, they don't need to get caught. Anyway, I was playing along for a little while with him. I'm like, I don't think this guy does not know I'm joking. And it was just a big jokey joke about it. Obviously I'm not stupid. I know how geese get banded and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, I thought it was a funny thing to say.
You have to consider who you're arguing with here. This is a guy that's arguing over a fucking bird with metal on his legs.
Yeah, right.
Like, dude,
He's a big bird nerd. I went to his face or his Instagram.
Is that what you guys call waterfowlers, bird nerds?
Yeah, that's what I call him. He is a big bird nerd, though. I'm like, dude, birds are inherently stupid. They got tiny brains.
They have great instincts, just not a whole lot of reasoning.
No. So it's like, yeah, all right. I was just joking around. He obviously takes his birds very seriously. It's like, chill, bro. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm just joking around. But whatever. It is what it is. He's like, maybe there needs to be he did say something kind of funny, though, where he's like, there needs to be a higher bar to having podcast equipment. I'm like, well, that's kind of funny. And I do kind of agree with that a little bit. To a certain extent.
If you can say that, but at the same time, where's your fucking podcast at, bro?
Yeah, right. He's trying to be an internet
like if it's so
influencer.
easy and dumb caveman thing to do, go out and get podcast equipment.
I will say it's not easy. It's easy to get podcast equipment. It's really hard to like have anyone give a fuck.
Well, I think it should be harder to get a fucking waterfowl license.
Okay. I think it should be, yeah.
If you're going to argue about birds on the internet, you need to fucking get your license revoked.
There should be a higher bar to commenting.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to have an IQ of at least, I don't know, 98 in order to...
At least a social IQ to be able to like recognize irony.
Right. Well, you can't do that. You can't do that, guys. We can't have that.
I've noticed you attract a lot of people that are just fucking autistic, dude. Like they have absolutely no sense of humor or irony at all.
I will say that is one thing. I love hunting, and I love the hunting community. There's a lot of really good people in there. But in the general public, in the general hunting population, they got their fair share.
A lot of dumb idiots.
Every group has it, every group has it. But there is a lot of people that just do not understand jokes in the hunting community because, like, working class got lambasted for a long time for swearing. Yeah. It's like,
and we know how that goes.
What the fuck?
We know how that goes with V for V.
Oh yeah,
the fucking Christians.
Which being one myself, I'm like, listen, bud, if you can't take it, get out of here.
I understand how you feel. However, go fuck yourself.
Right. I get it. I say some stuff. Mm-hmm. I say a lot of things I don't mean. I mean it as comedic relief because we talk about serious subjects sometimes that need a little bit of a jokey joke every once in a while to break the seriousness, because I'm not going to take my life too seriously. I'm just not going to. Life's too short to be taken too seriously. It might get cut shorter if we nuke each other. We don't know. So let's have fun.
That's what I like about the practical shooting community. Extremely sarcastic.
Yeah, very much.
Almost to the point where it's like, do you not take anything seriously?
Right. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it's fun.
But they do. They take shooting seriously, but, they have a sense of humor. They're fun.
Mm-hmm. For sure. All right, well, I better let you get out of here, Jordan. I appreciate you coming on. We're going to have to do more of this.
For sure. Everybody go out and dry fire.
I like it.
Get ready for spring.
That's right. Just don't dry fire around ice.
Yeah. No, don't do that. You'll get shot.
Yeah, do it in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah.